r/ask Reddit. What's the biggest scam in life that no one wants to admit? How the duck does health insurance not cover dental and vision? What kind of shenanigans is that? Didn't you hear? Teeth are your luxury bones. And eyes are too complicated for health insurance. But your brain is simple enough. We work the majority of our lives, during our fittest years of health, for the promise of a golden retirement, when we will probably be too old and ill to enjoy it properly. First you have strength and time, but no money. Then you have strength and money, but no time. Finally you have money and time, but no strength. I've heard it as energy instead of strength, but yeah, same idea. The easy to join, difficult to cancel subscription model. Pioneered by gyms. I cancelled mine as soon as lockdown started and I put together a home gym. Literally had to print out something from their website and mail it and then call them 3 times. That whole business model is based on people signing up, not going, and putting off cancelling due to a combination of not wanting to admit failure and the whole process being a pain in the ass. If everyone with a gym membership went just twice a week, they'd have a real problem on their hands. It's funny that MoviePass kind of tried to copy the formula of a business model that only works when people sign up but don't use it. They found people actually like to go to the movies though. Online convenience fees. My bank has free bill pay and will mail them a check if they don't have any other option. So now they get a check from me and the inconvenience fee is their own cost to process the thing. Get paid slower, etc. That's my r/malicious compliance story for my HOA fees. The entire wedding industry, to be clear, not marriage but weddings specifically. I'm happily married to my wife and we were content to do something special, just the two of us. Maybe spend a couple of grand and treat ourselves a little bit to something amazing. Cue the families getting involved and before you know it we're spending closer to 20 grand on one day and feeding a bunch of people I've not heard of before or since the wedding. 100% agree. There were 3 people at my wedding, which was held in a small bar before it opened. We were interested in having a marriage, not a wedding. Spent our money on a vacation. Still going strong 16 years later. Same here. My husband and I, his 2 sisters, and his parents. We all went out to dinner after. We just celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary this month. I've been to big weddings and the receptions were fun. But I saw all the stress and how consuming it all was. The weddings became more about making sure everything went off without a hitch, and less about just enjoying that special moment between 2 partners. Mom, tell me the truth and I won't be mad. 100% my kids are early teens now and any attempted cover-ups are way worse than the crimes. Plus, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. The trick to make this work is not rip their ducking heads off when they do tell you in that moment, because otherwise you're just teaching them that lying at least gives them a chance to avoid your abuse. Thanks for that. Dad edit. Fixed some spelling. I'm sorry so many of you can relate, but damn, I didn't get a single negative response here. Such a sweet thread. The subscription-based economy. This makes me so angry. Why does everything have to be a subscription now? I mean, I know why, but I still hate it. I imagine it's a ton of easy profit. Instead of having to constantly advertise to keep you hooked and buying each month, they just have to hook you once into a long-term commitment. Ticketmaster. I used them to go see my first comedian. Got 2 seats priced at $90 each. My total was $313. I'm not good at math, but I knew something was wrong there. Their fee per ticket is just nuts. I ended up getting seats that were about $45 each and it still cost me almost $200. I wanted to get my husband Steely Dan tickets for Christmas. Tickets were $75 each. The total was $212. The fees almost equaled the cost of another ticket. I didn't buy them because hell no. Paying exorbitant amounts of money for health insurance, and still having to pay boatloads of cash for any doctor/hospital visits. And then being denied coverage or charged extra because of some loophole or technicality. Oh yes, that hospital takes your insurance, but the visiting physician that day is with an organization that's out of network, so ducking hell, how are we supposed to know that? Edit. Obligatory RIP my inbox. The number of upvotes and shared stories this comment has received is a testament to the fact that these aren't isolated incidents and so many Americans have struggled with this bait and switch insurance BS. Some of you are saying that they now have to inform you in these circumstances. This is great news, assuming they're actually doing due diligence to make sure it's really happening. I just have a gut feeling that the same people who would play this type of greedy malicious game in the first place might be the same people who might not inform you and bank on you not knowing any better. Edit 2. Oh look at that. 10 years cake day. The American healthcare system is broken. Our politics system is broken. We need a major overhaul. Reddit awards. I like to think of Reddit awards as microtransactions that give you super upvotes in a free-to-play game, which is why I don't understand how anyone on Reddit uses them. Works every time with these clowns. Edit. Y'all got me laughing my ass off. $18 salad LOL. Water is $3 while pop is $1 signee. Bottled water versus in-can bottled soda. It's pop in Canada. One time I was at Burger King and ordered a meal item and asked for a water as my included drink. Didn't notice it immediately, but they added $1 to my bill for the water. Hustle culture. Bought a gold membership and a greeting card MLM so I could send unlimited custom cards. My coach thought I was taking it seriously as a moneymaker. Plus he wanted me to recruit more people for his downline. He actually asked, "Are there any friendships you can leverage?" Yep, that made my skin crawl. My fiance and I had to convince her brother last year not to join a pharmaceutical MLM. They had a website that described the different tiers you could achieve and how much you could make. Would have been hilarious if we weren't trying to convince her brother not to spend his life savings on it. They called it the 5x12 program or something. Basically, convince 5 people to work below you. Then have those 5 convince another 5 people as well. etc etc. If you succeeded then you would be estimated to be making around $500. 000 per year. Know how many people that comes out to working for you? 1. 220. 703. 125 people. So, like 15% of the world population. We gave her brother that information and he studied Airline tried it. Data caps. The funny not funny part is that they advertise unlimited data up to certain number, and government regulators allow those companies to get away with it. Unlimited data. Until you use too much, in which then they slow down your data so much that you can't even watch a 480p video without slowdown. But hey, unlimited right? Diamonds. Duck diamonds. Moissanite is lab grown, cost effective, and is basically indistinguishable from diamonds. In fact, they can look even more brilliant. Even moissanite has gotten pretty pricey over the last few years. That large global companies actually care about you. In these unprecedented times. Now more than ever, we stand with you. Free trial. Voice. Enter your card details. Buck edit. This is a joke. I do understand how subscriptions work. That's why I keep a Visa gift card with a few cents left on it. I use Privacy.com to create a card with a $1 limit for things like this. The prices of anything baby related, toys, food, clothes, etc. was in a store on Saturday to get a cot mattress and cover. I cried. We bought dog poop bags to dispose of diapers on the go because it was so much cheaper than a baby equivalent. Tiny roll of those bags lasts forever in a diaper bag. Put baby in a product name and suddenly it's so much pricier than an equivalent product not marketed the same way. Same with wedding. Put wedding on a product and it is 5x more expensive for the same thing without wedding. That we're supposed to work for the rest of our lives. This is the correct answer. We work more hours on average today than peasants did under feudalism. Not only this, but in the 1930s one of the fathers of modern economics, John Maynard Keynes, predicted that with projected efficiency gains, by the year 2000 we'd only need to work 15 hours a week to maintain a comfortable and modern standard of living. Not only did we achieve those productivity gains, we actually doubled them. We could be working 7-hour weeks today and taking 6-day weekends. But instead we're working the same hours we were when he made his predictions nearly 100 years ago now. Why? Because the efficiency dividend didn't go to the workers. The capitalists and the CEOs pocketed the lot of it. Just look at graphs of workers versus CEO salaries over time. And the rise of the uber rich. We're being screwed and cheated. And royally so. Damn. You nailed my reply so much better. Claw machines in arcades. Specifically, they're programmed to pay out after X number of dollars. Claw games with cheap stuff like stuffed animals will pay out relatively frequently. Things like the stacker game or the keyhole game with big ticket things are programmed to pay out at a much lower rate. The one in the arcade I worked at in college didn't have that. Instead, you could tweak the claw strength differently during the grab portion versus the carry portion. So people would be able to pick up the prize, but then while carrying it to the door, it would drop it. Fuels that so close feeling and they'll give it another go. Buying a star and naming it. A waste of your cash and time. The only organization that can name a star is International Astronomical Union. Besides, you can do it for yourself for free in your backyard. No one's gonna know if you renamed Beetlejuice Marty. That's between you two. Hope it doesn't blow up soon. Edit. Yes, I know Beetlejuice may have exploded already and just taking the light years to reach us. Giving parents your money for safekeeping as a kid. When I was a kid I discovered my grandma has a puzzle box on her dresser. Being a stupid kid I couldn't figure out how to open it. After a few unsuccessful attempts at just asking her to show me I got crafty, as only a stupid kid can, and thought I'd trick her into showing me. So I gave her a $2 bill I got somewhere and asked her to keep it safe for me in her puzzle box. Well, grandma knew exactly what I was doing. So the attempt failed. I never got to see her open it and promptly forgot about the whole thing. Fast forward 20 years. Grandma has now died and mom's going through her safe to figure out what's what and runs across an envelope in with my name on it. Inside is a $2 bill and a short note explaining that it belongs to me and it was given to her for safekeeping. She did keep it safe for me, right next to the deed to her house and other important financial documents. Even though it was a silly attempt at trickery and not a genuine request, I did end up getting that puzzle box and as an adult it took about half a second to figure out how to open it. It currently contains a rattlesnake rattle that my grandma got as a little girl that was a treasure she kept in the puzzle box, a $2 bill, and that note. This is a nice story that makes me smile. One of the reasons I like Reddit. Thank you, stranger. US private health insurance. Cutting out the middleman would save everyone money. It blows my mind we haven't changed anything. We haven't changed anything because the insurance companies flow so much money to Washington that they all turn a blind eye to what a freaking shit show it is. The industry pays the lawmakers to look away. It's that simple. That the fashion industry is anything other than planned obsolescence, designed simply to get people to spend money for no reason. I've noticed even my recent buys of simple t-shirts will degrade much faster than a decade ago. I still have a shirt from JCPenney I got 16 years ago that hasn't faded, thinned out, or much else. That shirt from 2 years ago though, insta holes. I very much noticed this. There are some exceptions but in general the quality of clothing has diminished and the lint trap in the dryer is well used. That climate change is up to each individual to go green. It was a campaign by BP that pushed the solution as each individual going green instead of the dozen massive corporations that account for the lion's share of greenhouse gases. Going green is good, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to oil companies, industrial farming, and cargo ships. Edit. Lots of yet to participate in society. Curious type comments from the usual contrarians. Your hot air is adding to the problem. Tipping culture. It's how businesses scammed the general public into paying additional costs so they could avoid paying their staff a living wage. You and the general public can't even boycott it BC if you do you're the a-hole. Gestures broadly this pretty much covers it. Fashion trends. And the incredible amount of waste it creates if everyone learned how to mend altered garments in school, and value was placed on investing in a few quality made items instead of a closet full of disposable fast fashion. There would be way less clothing in landfills and way less demand for chemical laden garments to be cranked out in sweatshops. Our relationship to clothing is so warped. Open bracket. Buying second hand is a great way to wiggle out of the grip of the fashion industry if it's available to you. Normal television. Paying to watch ads. Now we have streaming subscription services where you pay to watch ads. Progress. Mega churches on TV and elsewhere. Nothing would send Jesus into table flipping mode faster than seeing a mega church. Insurance. My great grandfather was a doctor, and there were stories of him treating people, often for free. He and his wife helped an entire family with scarlet fever in exchange for a jar of blackberry jam. My great grandfather was a traveling doctor in rural VA. He had to perform an emergency cesarean and the husband pointed a shotgun at him and said if his wife died, he'd die. Cesarean was successful and when the man asked how he could pay, my grandfather said your shotgun. We still have it in our family. Trickle-down economics. It actually does work. You just need to give it time. Yep, just give it time. In a decade now it should start working. Life. Like, why is it so damn expensive? I didn't even ask to be here. Religion. A lot of us have been convinced that we are selling our labor to companies at the correct price. In reality we're selling it too cheaply. That getting older gives wisdom. I'm older and I'm just a cranky old duck. The rat race. The idea that you are making progress towards a better world, carrying on with the destruction and degradation of our own environment in the name of progress. The cost of education. Bottled water. Mattresses, diamonds, and home furniture. Massive markups on these items. The fact that airlines have X amount of seats per flight, but almost always sell X plus 10 seats and then refund you about 80% of your ticket cost. Do that to the 10 people and suddenly you have about 2 tickets worth of profits seemingly out of nowhere, and everyone still has a flight. Just an unbelievably immoral way to gain a few bucks. But everyone just goes with it since the airplanes aren't exactly a train that comes every 10 minutes. Needing a college degree for most higher level jobs when there is rarely any relevant knowledge gained from the degree relevant to the job. The 5-day/40 HR plus work week. 40-hour work week. Do what you love for a living, and you'll never work a day in your life. Pure bullshit that will kill any enjoyment that you ever had for it. Glasses we need pay to see. Biggest scam. Penis enlargement pills gotta be up there too. No one wants to admit they got them. So when they don't work it's not like they're posting reviews or telling their friends they don't work. Car dealerships and realtors. They get rich and drive prices way up and basically do nothing but get between people buying cars and houses. The US healthcare system. Weddings. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.